All right, buckle up, chess fans, because today we are diving deep into Game 4 of the 2024 World Chess Championship.
Talk about a nail-biter.
This one had it all, folks. Twists, turns.
Unbelievable pressure.
And we've got the reigning champ, Liren,
Known for that solid strategic play.
facing off against the young phenom, Gukesh D.
This kid's a rising star, aggressive and dynamic.
It was a total clash of titans, and with the match tied at 2-2, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife.
Absolutely.
So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Game 4 kicks off, and right out of the gate, Ding throws us a curveball.
Oh, yeah.
He opens with 1 and F3.
No, that's unusual.
It is. He usually goes for 1 to 84 or 1 P4.
So what's the play here? Trying to throw Gukesh off balance.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, those classic openings, they're so deeply analyzed. Maybe Ding's trying to avoid Gukesh's prep, take him into uncharted territory.
It's a bold strategy, that's for sure. And we have seen a shift recently. Top players moving away from these hyper-theoretical openings.
Right, more emphasis on creativity over the board thinking.
Exactly. So Ding's choice could be part of this larger trend.
So he's playing the long game, maybe?
Could be.
But Gukesh, he doesn't just sit back and let Ding run the show, does he?
Not a chance. Gukesh responds with fire, especially with 13 knight and a 5.
That move definitely raised some eyebrows.
It did. Challenged Ding's entire setup.
Created this really dynamic imbalance.
Speaking of dynamic, there's a moment, a real what if in this game. Ding had a chance with 16, base 6.
Oh, yeah.
He could have gone after some weak points in Black's position.
So why didn't he play it? Stage fight.
It's hard to say for sure, but the pressure was definitely on. Defending a world championship title, that's got to weigh on you.
No kidding. So maybe he was playing it safe?
Could be. Instead of 16, base 6, he went with the quieter 16 and F3.
Leading to some exchanges, simplifying the board.
Yeah, things calmed down a bit after that.
So the game goes on, and eventually we find ourselves in a queen and rook endgame.
And the pawn structure here becomes absolutely crucial.
Yeah, pawns. They're the unsung heroes of chess.
They are. They control space, restrict pieces, and of course they can promote.
And in this endgame, Ding's got a pawn majority on the king side.
Right, more pawns on that flank.
Gukesh, though, he's got a passed pawn on the c-file.
So no enemy pawns blocking its path.
It's a race then. Ding trying to advance his pawns.
Yeah.
Gukesh trying to promote his.
You got it. And then Gukesh plays this really intriguing move, 30-point F5.
Putting even more pressure on Ding's position.
Right, forcing him to defend very precisely.
So who wins the race? Does either player manage to break through?
Neither. It ends in a draw by threefold repetition.
A draw. All that buildup, all that tension for a tie.
I know, it might seem anticlimactic, but draws are a part of chess, especially at this level.
Right, I guess when you have two players this strong, sometimes it's hard to get a decisive result.
Exactly. This draw actually highlights just how good both players are defensively.
So a battle of attrition.
You could say that.
I'm curious though, what did the players have to say about the game afterwards?
Well, in the press conference, Ding admitted he played it safe, maybe missed some chances to create more dynamic possibilities.
Maybe thinking about that 16, base 6?
Could be. And Gukesh, he said he felt comfortable in those unusual positions.
So even though Ding tried to take him out of his prep, he adapted.
Yeah, really impressive stuff from such a young player.
Absolutely. So we've got an unconventional opening, a tense middle game, and a nail-biting end game, all ending in a draw.
All tied up still.
But there's another layer to this game, isn't there? The psychological battle.
Oh yeah, that's where it gets really interesting.
What does this game tell us about the mindsets of these two chess titans?
Well, Ding's cautious approach, particularly that missed opportunity on move 16, it makes you wonder if the pressure's getting to him.
Like he's playing not to lose rather than playing to win.
Right. Trying to avoid any big blunders.
In Gukesh, he seems so confident, so willing to embrace complexity.
Yeah, he's not afraid to push the boundaries.
So it's almost like a clash of philosophies as much as it is a clash of styles.
Exactly. And that psychological dimension adds a whole other layer of intrigue to this match.
Because it's not just about the moves on the board, it's about what's happening inside each player's head.
Absolutely. It's a battle of nerves, a test of mental resilience, and that's what makes this championship so captivating.
And that's what keeps us coming back for more.
For sure.
So what's next? How do you think this draw will shape their strategies going forward?
That's the million-dollar question.
Stay tuned, folks, because we're just getting started.
The drama's only going to intensify from here.
So buckle up and get ready for more epic chess action.
It's going to be a wild ride. It's amazing to see how these young players like Gukesh are just fearless out there.
They're really shaking things up.
You don't seem to be bound by all those old chess dogmas.
And they're bringing so much excitement to the game.
Absolutely.
And speaking of shaking things up, we have to talk about Ding's opening in this game.
Yeah, that 1-1. And F3 was a real surprise.
He really threw everyone for a loop. I mean, Gukesh must have spent hours preparing for those main lines like 1d4 and 1d4.
It's almost like Ding was trying to disrupt Gukesh's whole plan.
Pull him out of his comfort zone.
Force him to think on his feet.
And it almost worked. Remember that moment with 16? Basics?
Oh, yeah. If Ding had played that, he could have put Gukesh in a really tough spot.
It was a real turning point.
Absolutely.
And we've all been there, right? You see the brilliant move, but then you hesitate. You second guess yourself.
Especially with so much pressure.
And in a world championship match, that hesitation can be fatal.
I think that's one of the things that makes chess so relatable. Even if you're not a grandmaster, you can still understand that feeling of pressure, the fear of making a mistake.
Totally. And it makes these moments of brilliance even more impressive.
Because they're not just playing against their opponent.
They're battling their own doubts too.
Exactly.
But let's get back to the game for a minute. After that missed opportunity, things eventually progressed to a queen and rook endgame.
And endgames can be tricky even for experienced players.
Right. So can you explain why the pawn structure was so important in this endgame?
Sure. Well, in a queen and rook endgame, every pawn becomes super valuable because there's a chance it could promote to a queen, and that could totally change the game.
So it's all about controlling those key squares.
Right. And in this game, Ding had more pawns on the king side, but Gukesh had a passed pawn on the c file.
So no enemy pawns to block it.
Exactly. It was a race to see who could use their pawns to create a winning advantage.
So Ding's trying to break through on the king side. Gukesh is trying to promote his pawn.
And then Gukesh plays this really clever move, 30-point f5.
Really putting the pressure on Ding.
Forcing him to defend very carefully.
So it sounds like both players were playing very precisely.
They were.
I'm kind of surprised that neither one was able to make a breakthrough with their pawns.
Yeah, but that's the thing about top-level chess. The players are so good, so precise, it's incredibly difficult to force a win.
So this draw was really a testament to their defensive skills.
Absolutely. They both played incredibly well.
It must be exhausting playing at that level for hours on end.
Oh, yeah. It's mentally and emotionally draining.
But let's talk about the mental side of things for a minute.
Yeah.
We've talked about the pressure Ding might be feeling as the defending champion.
Right.
Do you think that his cautious play in this game could come back to haunt him?
It's possible. If he continues to play too passively, Gukesh might be able to take control of the match.
So Ding needs to find a way to be more assertive.
But without taking too many risks.
That's a tough balance to strike.
It is, and it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts his strategy in the next few games.
And what about Gukesh? He's been playing with so much confidence.
Yeah, he's been on fire.
Do you think he'll stick with this aggressive style, or will he try to mix things up?
Well, he's found a style that's working for him, so I think he'll probably stick with it.
But he's also a very smart player.
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he throws in a few surprises along the way.
Definitely keep us guessing.
It's almost like we're seeing two different schools of thought in this match. Ding representing the more classical strategic approach to chess, and Gukesh representing a more modern dynamic style.
That's a great way to put it. It's a clash of chess cultures.
And the outcome of this match could really shape the future of the game.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be a chess fan.
So to recap, we've talked about the key moments of Game 4. The surprising opening, the missed opportunity, the tense endgame, and of course the psychological battle between these two amazing players.
We've seen some incredible chess.
And with the match still tied at 2-2, the tension is building.
Every game is crucial now.
And the next game is going to be especially important because Gukesh will have the white pieces.
That first move advantage can be huge.
It could be a turning point in the match.
So stay tuned, folks, because things are about to get even more intense.
We'll be back soon to break down all the action for the next game.
Until then, keep those chess boards warmed up.
It's amazing to think about how chess has been around for centuries.
It really is a timeless game.
But watching this championship, it feels so fresh, so modern.
I know, right? It's like we're seeing a whole new era of chess unfold before our eyes.
These young players like Gukesh, they're not afraid to experiment, to try new things.
They're pushing the boundaries of the game.
And it's not just their style of play, it's their attitude too.
Exactly. They're so confident, so fearless.
They're having fun out there.
It's inspiring.
It makes you want to grab a chessboard and start playing yourself.
Totally.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a lot of chess to be played in this match.
Oh yeah, it's far from over.
Especially with Gukesh having the white pieces in the next game.
That first move advantage can be huge.
So how do you think he'll use it? Will he go for an early attack? Or will he play more positional game?
It's tough to say. He's shown that he can play both styles equally well.
And that's what makes this match so exciting.
Absolutely.
You never know what's going to happen next.
It's a real battle of wits.
And nerve.
The psychological pressure in a world championship match is immense.
I can't even imagine what these players are going through.
It's like a mental marathon.
They have to be at their best for hours on end.
And every decision they make could have a huge impact on the outcome of the match.
It's enough to make anyone crack.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so compelling to watch.
We're seeing the best players in the world pushing themselves to the limit.
Testing their physical and mental endurance.
And it's a privilege to witness it.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this amazing game, I want to leave our listeners with a few questions to think about.
Okay, sure.
What have we learned about these two players? About their strengths and weaknesses, about their personalities.
Right.
How will this draw affect their approach to the rest of the match? And most importantly, what does this match tell us about the future of chess?
It's an exciting time to be a chess fan.
That's for sure. We're seeing the game evolve right before our very eyes.
New styles, new strategies, new ideas are emerging.
And I, for one, can't wait to see what the future holds.
Me neither.
So to all our listeners out there, keep playing, keep learning, keep exploring the wonderful world of chess.
And join us next time for another deep dive into the 2024 World Chess Championship.
Until then, checkmate.